Well, a new study in the journal Pediatrics describes it as, quote, unethical to call breastfeeding natural because doing so might undermine feminism. The study says, quote, coupling nature with motherhood can inadvertently support biologically deterministic arguments about the roles of men and women in the family. Kathy Aru is a journalist and publisher of Catalina Magazine, and she joins us now. Kathy, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So this was kind of a baffling story. One, that people are inserting politics into breastfeeding, which seems like it would be off limits for politics. But,
right.
but two, why it would be controversial to call breastfeeding natural. If breastfeeding is not natural, what is natural?
Well, breastfeeding doesn't come naturally, as pediatricians will tell you. It's not exactly easy. There are lactation specialists out there. There's a whole industry out there. So breastfeeding isn't exactly natural. It doesn't come naturally to women. So what they're saying is, which I'm so happy there's a study out there that are finally letting women not have this guilt trip, that it's okay to hand the formula over to daddy, to the men, and it's natural for a man to feed a baby. So they're saying that only a woman able to feed a child is inappropriate. It's unethical and inappropriate. And I'm so glad that women are let off the hook. Finally.
I mean, it's not unethical or inappropriate, whatever those words mean. I mean, it's the opinion of some physicians that breast milk is superior to formula, and other people disagree, and it's a debate that has raged for quite some time. But what you seem to be saying is it is bad because it suggests that women have a different role in motherhood than men do, but they do because women are the only people biologically capable of bearing children. Is that now a controversial observation?
Well, the study is saying, though, that women are not the only ones who could feed the children. So that's what they're trying to say. It is natural for others to be able to feed the children. So the whole burden is not on the mother. So that's what they're trying to say with this study.
Okay, but that's okay. First of all, of course that's true.
Right.
Of course. But that's kind of a decision. What do you mean? I don't think women are stupid.
Oh, well, there are some women that actually, I interviewed a pediatrician that had a mother that had a child starving for 2 weeks. She was not able to lactate. She was not able to produce breast milk for 2 weeks. The baby had lost weight, and she refused to give that baby formula for fear that her baby was not going to get the perfect breast milk and would have to turn to formula. The baby ended up in the NICU.
That's a totally fair point, and that's a shame when people feel like,
and people
there's no alternative. Perhaps there are some, but that's not what's really going on here. This is gender politics intruding on the personal decisions that parents make.
Well,
it's also blurring the lines. It's suggesting, by the way, that men can breastfeed, which I don't think they can.
It's suggesting that men could, I don't know, but it's suggesting that
I do know. The answer is they can't.
So.
I have 4 children, I can tell you.
I don't know your secrets, but no, what they're saying is that men can feed children. They're finally putting a study out there that's saying that breast milk is not the only way to go. There are other ways, and other things are natural.
You're dodging what I'm saying. Look, strictly speaking, I don't disagree with you.
Thank you.
But the debate is whether breast milk is better or worse than formula. And again, that is a scientific debate that nutritionists and physicians can have. This is feminist groups saying, how dare you suggest that it's better for women to feed babies because that somehow ties them biologically to the act of procreation. And my only point is, feminists, as usual, are helping to obscure biological realities because they don't like them. And that's an attack on science, and I'm against that.
It's a study that's just saying it's inappropriate to say that breast milk is the only natural way to feed a child. A man could naturally feed a child in other ways.
Well, actually, a man can't naturally feed a child. A man can't produce formula.
I mean, naturally give it formula. Natural. It's natural. Loving is natural.
Okay. It's just. Can you just take 3 steps back and acknowledge that there's something pretty awful about inserting gender politics into something as beautiful and intimate as the first days of a child's life? And maybe parents could say, hey, back off.
It's not beautiful. Breastfeeding is not beautiful. Breastfeeding, it causes so many headaches, and it can be so horrible. And as a pediatrician told me, it doesn't come naturally for so many women. So this study, I think, is wonderful because so women can finally step back and say, wow, it's okay to hand the bottle and the baby over to dad or my girlfriend or whatever the case may be.
Half of that sentence is correct, of course. It is absolutely okay to do that.
Thanks.
But I'm just wondering, final question for you, because this is giving me a little bit of a headache.
I'm sorry.
No offense to you. No, it's not your fault, but just the whole subject is so crazy. if it's not natural to breastfeed, how did the species get to where it is now? Like, why didn't we die out several millennia ago?
I think we found other ways like formula to feed the babies. So, and
Okay,
years
so
ago,
like during the medieval period, like where did you get the Similac then?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not quite sure, but this breastfeeding phenomenon has been going on for the last 10 years. But before that, our mothers weren't all exactly into breastfeeding. You had the feminism, the revolution, the 70s. Women did not breastfeed like they do nowadays. So breastfeeding has not always been the answer.
Man, I'm glad my kids are older enough to weigh into this stuff. Kathy, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.